How's it going, everyone? This is Ray with the Houston Film Fanatics and Sunny 99.1, and today we are all about peace in the Middle East. And of course, that is because Camp David has come to town at the Alley Theater, and I am here with Rebecca Brooksher. She's one of the very, very talented cast members of the show. Rebecca, thanks for talking with us today.
So glad to be here.
Well, first off, for people that may not be familiar with the story, can you kind of give everybody an idea of what Camp David is about and your role in the show?
Yes, well, I play Rosalind Carter, and it's about the Camp David Accords, where we figured out a way to make peace between Egypt and Israel, and it is the longest standing peace treaties, and we haven't had a war between those countries in 40 years now, 4 decades now.
So with a show like this, of course, I feel like historical shows are always kind of a tough one because you're trying really hard to stay true to what actually happened, and it seems like there's a lot more tricks that you guys will have to jump through with this show. How do you feel like this show handles that
And
material?
that's a good point, because the way that I just described that, it sounds really boring. And our show is not at all. It's actually, well, I mean, for one, I play the wife of Jimmy Carter, right? So you would think, did she have a real part in it? But she did. She was actually one of the most trusted, or his trusted advisor, most trusted advisor in life and with these accords. So I was involved, and these two men, the president of Egypt and the prime minister of Israel, are amazingly different, and therefore comedy ensues when you're trying to come up with a common ground there. And it's actually, there's a lot of heart and a lot of comedy trying to find peace.
I feel like your character brings a lot of comedy to this show, but there's little moments where it's like you say certain things and it's just like, okay, it's very Southern.
Well, yeah. Well, these guys are men who really go at it, and they're trying their best, but they fight facts, and they're fighting their battles, and then I'm the person that brings levity, and I kind of share the heart and remind these people that, hey, we are people. Remember that we are people and listen to each other, sort of thing. So.
Well, and I like that you say that too, because one of the things I was thinking about while watching the show is, perspective is a very big deal in this show because, from each side of the fight, they're seeing things their own way. They're seeing, for one man, they may be a freedom fighter. For another one, they may see that as a terrorist. And then, of course, you've got, from the U.S. side where, the Carters have got very much, down-home ideas for, how things should be. How do you feel like this show handles all of that?
Well, religion plays a big part of it for everyone, and then the history becomes such a big part of it because nobody understands where the other person is coming from with their history and personal history, too. So it all plays such a part in we can't find a common ground, really, until you actually start talking to the people and not just the politics. So that we kind of take the politics out and say, for the kids and grandkids, let's find peace.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I thought was interesting, okay, so when you start the show, guys, initially it's first off, it's done in the round, which I think is actually really, really cool because there's not a bad seat in the house.
Intimate, really intimate.
Yeah.
You're part of the accords, basically.
Absolutely. And so when the show opens, you're looking at a map of the Middle East on this big platform, and that rises up, and then underneath it, I'm guessing, is that like a layout of Camp David?
It is.
So what is the significance of that? Because it rises up, and that's kind of the last that we see of that, really.
Well, part of it is that the amazing writer and director team, who are very good friends all through life, so they didn't just collaborate on this, they know each other very well. Larry Wright and Oscar Eustace. They're amazing men, and they collaborated on this, of course, with our designers as well. But the idea is that we don't expect everyone to know all of the politics, and you might be a little bit intimidated coming into this play. Don't worry, we don't expect you to know all the politics.
There's no quiz after everybody.
No quiz,
You'll be okay.
And a lot of it is just you understand the argument and the trying to find peace is the idea. But there's a little bit of a cheat sheet coming in, I would say, of if you don't know the politics, here's a map of what we're talking about, and there's some signs around the map that kind of give you the wars that lead up to this time that says, okay, these guys fought this war, and we're going to talk a little bit about this, but don't worry, here's a summary of it if you don't know anything about it, sort of thing. So, and then when it rises up in the beginning, not to give anything away, but so then underneath that is a diorama of that's where we're talking about, but then here is where we are. And so that kind of gives you the perspective.
I like that. One of the things that I liked when I was, reading about the show and seeing different people commenting on social media that have already seen it, because again, the show started February the 14th, and it is playing now through March 15th. But when I'm reading different comments on social media, everybody's like, "Oh my God, I love this show so much. You have to go see this show." And I mean, normally you don't get that kind of just rabid reaction from people. I mean, you've been on social media, I know you guys know, but it was just really, really inspiring to make me even more excited when I finally saw this show. For you, being a part of the show, why do people need to come and check out Camp David?
I mean, for right now, and with everything that's going on in the world, it's kind of an amazing thing to see people come together that are so different. I mean, the people in this play, the actors are so amazing, and I can't tell you these two, the guys that play the two leaders, Elijah Alexander and Jordan Lodge, they cannot be more different actors, and they find this way of speaking to each other with Jimmy's help, obviously, Stephen Thorne, who's another amazing actor. They are just so good together, and the comedy that comes out of trying to find a common ground is really funny, and it's so fast. It's an hour 45. We first started at like 2 hours and 10 minutes, and we got it down. So like the scenes topple over each other, and there's suspense and drama and humor. It's just really fun, and we all have so much fun together.
Well, you guys definitely need to come and check out Camp David. It is playing now at the Alley Theater through March 15th. Come and hang out with these guys, learn a little bit of history that you may not know, and have a lot of fun. And definitely come and see them. Really, it's a good time. I promise it is not going to be anything like what you think. You're going to have a really, really fun time at this show.
Not just politics. It's a lot of fun.
Tickets are on sale now at alleytheater.org, and you're not going to be disappointed with this show, I promise. Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Come on down, Dan.
Guys, this has been Ray with the Houston Film Fanatics, Sunny 99.1, and we'll catch you guys real soon.